When my sister got sick, I put my life on hold to move in and take care of her kids. After she got better, she filed for emergency custody of my daughter. She's happier here, she said in court. Her mother is unstable. I sat in that courtroom watching my own blood lie through her teeth. But what she didn't know is that I kept a copy of every message, every late-night call, every moment she begged me not to leave, and the one voicemail that proved everything. This story still makes me feel sick. A year ago, I gave up everything to take care of my sister when she got sick. I mean everything, my job, my apartment, my routine, and basically my life. And when she got better, she went behind my back and filed for emergency custody of my daughter. Let me tell you how that happened. I was living in Georgia at the time, running a small cleaning business, nothing fancy, but it paid the bills. My daughter was 6, just started first grade. We lived in a little 2-bedroom apartment above a pharmacy. It wasn't perfect, but it was ours. Then I got a call from my sister's husband one night in October. I remember the way his voice shook. "Missy's got cancer. They think it's lymphoma." I didn't even think about it. I just packed some bags, loaded my daughter in the car, and drove straight to North Carolina. 9 hours. Didn't even stop to sleep. I thought it would be a few weeks, maybe a couple of months. It turned into 11 months. Missy had 3 kids. Her husband worked out of state, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, so he couldn't be around much. I ended up stepping into her whole life. I drove the kids to school, made meals, cleaned, took her to chemo appointments, got up with her when she was vomiting at 3 a.m., sat with her on the bathroom floor when her hair started falling out. I watched her go from being this put-together, sharp, sarcastic older sister to someone who cried if the mail was late. My daughter adjusted fast. Too fast, maybe. She started calling her cousins her brothers. She shared a bunk bed with the youngest. She told her teacher she had 2 moms. That hurt a little, but I didn't say anything. I just kept thinking, I'm doing this for the right reasons. I lost my business around month 4. My landlord back home ended the lease. All my stuff ended up in storage. I told myself it was okay. I could rebuild later. By month 8, Missy started to improve. Her doctor said the chemo was working. She was still weak, but she could get up and move around more. She smiled again. She started wearing makeup. Talked about going back to work at the bank, part-time. I was proud of her. I really was. And then, just when I thought I could finally start figuring out my life again, she turned on me. One morning I got a knock on the door. It was a sheriff with a manila envelope. Inside were court papers. My sister had filed for emergency custody of my daughter. I couldn't breathe. I read the first few lines and thought there had to be a mistake. It wasn't. She said I was unstable, that I didn't have a permanent address, that my daughter had developed a strong emotional attachment to her household and that she was thriving there. She even claimed my daughter told her she wanted to stay and didn't want to leave with me. I was shaking. My hands went numb. I sat on the floor of the laundry room and just stared at the dryer for 20 minutes. The hearing was set for the following week. I slept maybe 3 hours total that whole week. Every time I closed my eyes, I pictured a judge telling me I wasn't fit to raise my own child. I couldn't believe Missy would do this. After everything I gave up. After every night I stayed up to take care of her. In court, she looked polished. Hair done, makeup on, blazer like she was going to a job interview. She told the judge I was unstable and transient, that her house was the only consistency my daughter had known for the last year. I sat there staring at her, my mouth dry. She talked about me like I was some addict drifting through town. But I didn't come unprepared. Because what she didn't know is that I had saved everything. Every late-night text from her saying, "I can't do this alone. Please don't leave." Every voicemail where she begged me not to go. Every screenshot where she said things like, "You're the only reason I've made it this far," or "My kids love you more than they love me right now, and that's okay." The one that mattered most was a voicemail she left 3 months before the court date. She was crying so hard she could barely get the words out. "If something happens to me, I need you to promise me you'll raise my kids. I don't trust anyone else. Not even their dad. I trust you. Please promise me. I gave all of it to my lawyer. I didn't say a word to Missy. I didn't even look at her. When the judge asked me to respond to the accusations, I said, quietly, I was taking care of my sister while she was sick. I did everything she asked. I lost my business, my apartment, but I stayed because she needed me. The judge looked at the evidence. He didn't grant her the custody, said it didn't seem like I was unfit, that Missy's concerns may have been based on what she thought was best, but they didn't hold up. So legally I won, but I didn't feel like I did, because now my daughter still asks why she can't go play with her cousins. She doesn't understand why Aunt Missy doesn't come around anymore. She cries sometimes at night and doesn't want to talk about why. And I'm sitting here wondering how someone I loved so deeply, someone I literally put my whole life on pause for, could stab me in the back like that. I haven't spoken to her since that court date, and I don't know if I ever will. After court, I moved back to Georgia. I had no plan, no home, barely any money. I ended up sleeping on my friend Tanya's couch for a few weeks while I tried to get back on my feet. My daughter started acting different. She stopped talking during car rides. She wouldn't eat certain foods unless they were exactly how Missy made them. She asked every single day when we were going back home. I told her we were home. She just stared at me. One night, I found her trying to FaceTime her cousins on her tablet. I had to take it away. Missy had blocked my number, and I figured it was the same with my daughters. I didn't want her sitting there waiting for a reply that wasn't coming. I tried everything to get back to normal. Got a job cleaning office buildings. Took every weekend shift I could. Found a small one-bedroom and turned the living room into my daughter's space so she'd feel like it was hers. She started drawing pictures. One was of our old apartment in North Carolina. Her, the cousins Missy. I wasn't in it. I cried in the bathroom that night, so she wouldn't see. Then things got worse. I found out Missy was telling people I had abandoned my daughter during her cancer treatment, that I used her illness as an excuse to mooch off her and then tried to take over. I didn't even know how to react. I had messages from people I hadn't spoken to in years asking, "Is everything okay between you and Missy?" She said some stuff that didn't sound like you. She was rewriting the whole story. And the worst part? People believed her. She'd always been good at sounding calm and reasonable. Meanwhile, I looked like the unstable one couch hopping with a kid, just barely scraping by. I started seeing a lawyer again. I wanted to file for defamation. I wanted her to take back what she said. I wanted her to admit she lied. But my lawyer told me it'd be hard to prove and, honestly, not worth the money I didn't have. So I started documenting everything again. Every comment online. Every mutual friend who sent me screenshots. I made a folder called Missy Damage Control. I didn't know what I was going to do with it yet, but I wanted the truth somewhere, just in case. Then something strange happened. One of Missy's kids, her oldest, Brandon, called me. He was 15. "Hey," he said, voice low. "I found your number on Mom's old iPad. I just wanted to say I miss you." I sat down on the floor. I didn't even know what to say. He told me things at home were tense. That Missy didn't talk about me, but if someone mentioned my name, she'd change the subject or get mad. He said she'd been acting different. More controlling. More paranoid. "I don't think she's okay," he said. Like, mentally. I wanted to say something comforting, but I just asked, "Is she taking care of you?" He hesitated. "She doesn't scream or anything, but it's like everything's about her now. Like we're walking on eggshells all the time." He told me he missed the way things were when I lived there, that it felt normal back then, even when Missy was sick. He said, "I just wanted you to know we don't hate you. Me and the twins, we know you were there for all of us." Then he hung up. I sat there with the phone in my hand for a long time. I felt sick all over again. Like I'd been hit with another version of the same betrayal, but this time from the inside. Because if her own son thought something was wrong, then maybe it wasn't over. Maybe she hadn't just hurt me. Maybe she was about to hurt them, too. A few weeks after Brandon called me, I got a letter. It wasn't from Missy. It was from her husband, David. We hadn't spoken since the court hearing. I didn't even know he still had my address. Inside the envelope was a short, typed note. No greeting. Just this. I don't know what happened between you two, but something's off with Missy.
She's not the same.
If anything happens to me or the kids, I wanted someone to know that. That was it. No signature. I read it 3 times before I let myself believe it was real. That night, I didn't sleep. My brain was racing. If David was reaching out, someone who never even liked me much, then it had to be serious. I started thinking about all the little things I brushed off before. The way Missy would twist stories to make herself the victim. The time she cried in court without blinking once. How fast she blocked me and cut off my daughter, like she was removing a loose thread. Something was wrong. I tried calling Brandon again, but the number was disconnected. Then I checked social media. Missy had deleted every photo that included me, every post that mentioned me. It was like I'd never existed. My daughter, too, gone from all the albums. I messaged one of the moms from the school carpool group we used to do. Just a quick, casual, "Hey, how's everything up there?" message. She wrote back almost instantly.
Oh wow.
I didn't know you were still in touch. Missy said you moved to Texas? She said you left your daughter with her because you needed to work on yourself. Didn't realize you were back in town. I stared at the message, stunned. She was telling people I left my child with her voluntarily. That I chose to disappear. That I wasn't stable enough to raise her. I went into that folder, Missy Damage Control, and started organizing everything like a case file. Messages. Screenshots. David's note. Brandon's call logs. I didn't know what I was building, but I knew I'd need it eventually. Then something happened that changed everything. My daughter came home from school with a drawing. It was a picture of a house. Our house. And in the window, she'd drawn a face. "That's Aunt Missy," she said. "She watches us." I froze. "What do you mean, sweetie?" She shrugged. "Sometimes she parks down the street. I saw her car. I waved once, but she didn't wave back." I looked outside. Nothing there. But the next morning I drove around the block before work. Parked in a different spot. And there she was. Her car. Parked 3 houses down. Same blue SUV. I recognized the dent in the bumper. She was sitting behind the wheel. I didn't confront her. I just drove past. Pretended not to notice. But I took pictures. Sent them to my lawyer. "Can you believe this?" I wrote. He replied, "Start documenting dates. We might need a restraining order." That was the moment I realized this wasn't over. Missy had lost in court, but she hadn't let go. She wasn't just trying to rewrite the past. She was trying to rewrite the present. And if I didn't stop her, she was going to find another way to take what she thought was hers. I used to think family meant something unbreakable. That no matter what happened, blood would keep us tethered. But now, every time I see my daughter draw a picture without me in it, every time I catch myself checking the street for that blue SUV, I wonder if what Missy really took from me wasn't just trust, it was the version of family I thought I had.